Hi guys, Dennis here from Denny Bob's RC. I've been working on my 1/16 scale Ertl Case IH 4994 four-wheel drive tractor. I'm just going to kind of go through a few things. I'm not going to do a step-by-step. It just takes way too much time, but I'll kind of show you what I've done so far. Um, I used to try to incorporate the drives into the original chassis. I kind of put that idea off to the side and built my own chassis for the body to slide onto. I'll be honest with you, I think it seems to be working a lot better, but we'll see how it goes. I got a long ways to go yet. Yeah, as you can see, I've kind of got the chassis somewhat built. I'm using a 612 RPM planetary gear drive motor to drive my transfer case, and then we'll go underneath. We got the transfer case and we got the drive shafts going to both the front and the rear, and that rear axle does oscillate so that it's got, I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not, but yeah, you can kind of see how it kind of oscillates back and forth. I had to mount the motor in here at an angle just to do the, if I would have used maybe a taller or a larger or maybe a smaller motor or a larger transfer case, that I could have got this up a little bit. I could have went straight in with a drive shaft. This works. I just made an angle bracket for it to mount, and actually works pretty slick. I'll get it so that this body actually will eventually just bolt down to the chassis. And then I've got all kinds of room for a battery there. I can run my ESC, or I can stick all my electronics down inside if I want to. I'll probably run like a 3000. I might cut this open just a little bit more, because when you take and put the hood on it, sorry, this may look a little, and I got to get some new decals for it, but then the hood just kind of covers that all up. You can just see the motor out of it, but yeah, it's just kind of dummied together yet. I got to work on how to get the steering servos. I might mount the steering servos to the body and then have linkages that can be detached, and then you can take the body back off if you ever have to work on it again. If I ever have to work on it again. I'm building this for myself. I'm not building it to sell. I hardly ever sell anything I build. Every once in a while I will, but never feel the need. I like keeping most of my stuff, but yeah, I'll get it so that this crab steering will work, and I'll have to set the steering servo endpoint so it doesn't turn too sharp. But yeah, I think it's going to work pretty good. It's a work in progress so far, but I'm happy with the progress so far. But yeah, still trying to figure out how I'm going to do the steering yet. I made my own servo so it comes out here, and then has a linkage rod that goes and steers the front axle, and I'll probably do something the same on the back side to steer the rear axle and have individual steering. I'm going to actually, what I actually think I'm going to do is I'm going to use an i6S radio and use the VRA and VRB dials so that I can steer the front and rear axles individually. To me, I think that would work all right. I don't know. I'll see. There's only so many radios you can do so that you can get the servos to steer two different axles and steer them different directions. That's the easiest way for me. I'm sure there's other ways, but you know what? That's probably the way I'm going to do it. So I do things my own way, and so far so good. Everything that I've built has worked out quite well. So anyway, that's what I've got done so far. Yeah, and the chassis is just an 1/8 inch plate that I've got in here, and then I've had to space this transfer case down a little bit so I've got clearance on the top and the bottom for the drive shafts, kind of get it equalized, and then I kind of got it hollowed out in there so it makes room for everything so I can get to everything if I ever have to take and change a drive shaft or something. I always try to accommodate my stuff so that eventually, someday, I know I'm going to have to work on it. And I want to make it the easiest. I kind of make it, I'm opposite of an asshole engineer. I try to make things so that I can work on it later on. Unlike most of these engineers out here that don't know jack shit about working on anything, but they sure can help and design stuff. But to go back and do any replacement parts, it's a son of a bitch. So anyway, I'm pretty happy so far. Good old Chucky's tires, and I made my own rims, and made my own dual rims for it. But yeah, it works out pretty slick. I'm not exactly sure. You know, I was kind of curious on how I was gonna get that motor to fit in there, but yeah, I had to cut a bunch of the internals out of here, but you know what? By the time you slap the hood on it, you can't tell it anyway. So yeah, but I'm happy so far. So far, so good. So, and the work continues. So, guess what? Catch you guys later.